Hey guys, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is just going to be this casual get ready with me using some products that I have been liking recently. Some of them I mentioned in my favorites video but haven't really used on camera, so I wanted to go ahead and include them in a video. So yeah, it's kind of a mix of like drugstore and high-end. It's not anything specific, but I've been doing a lot of makeup shopping recently. Then there's also some stuff that I hauled that I've been loving. So it's just like kind of a little hodgepodge of favorites for the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to be going for like a pretty neutral look surprise with winged liner. I've been doing winged liner a ton recently and I feel like I might actually be getting better at it. So that is exciting. So I'm just going to go ahead and first do my eyes. That way I don't like have to, if I mess up, you know, I don't have to go back and redo everything. So I'm just going to prime with MAC's Painterly Paint Pot as usual. So as usual, whenever I use the Painterly Paint Pot, I have to set it, and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I've hit pan on this pretty much like across the whole pan, and I really love this powder, but I'm so excited because I ordered the RCMA No Color powder like 2 days ago, so I'm like really hoping that it comes in soon because I don't think I've ever been so excited to try powder. Everyone's freaking out about it. And recently for eyeshadows, I have been using the Lorac Pro palette again. This was one of my favorites when I first got it, and I like kind of fell off, but now I'm like totally back into it. I've been doing this look with like kind of a mauve-y color recently, so I like to take the color mauve, and I just put that on my large shadow brush from Wet n Wild. It's a little bit dirty. I mean, it like stays kind of dirty because of the color, so it's not like disgusting, I promise. And I just take a little bit of that, start in the outer corner of the crease, and then kind of bring it into the rest of the crease. I've been liking this because it is making, it's not just my typical like brown shadows, you know, and it's really pretty for spring, so I'm into it. And then I take it a little bit down like here too. I'm also trying some new settings on my camera, so let me know if you notice a difference. If you don't, then I'll figure something else out. I really need to get a ring light, but those are expensive. Alright, so after I get that done, I just like wipe the brush off on my hand. I don't really do anything crazy. And then either I will go in with the light pink on my lids, or I'll take like one of these colors. I really like using pewter. Is that pewter? I'm reading this upside down. And light bronze. I think I'm going to do light bronze today. It's just like this really pretty bronzy shade, as the name would suggest. But it like comes off very soft, so it's nothing too like warm or cool or whatever, which I think pairs well with the purple because it's not just like a straight up cool tone, which I normally would do with purple. So it kind of brings in a mix of like cool tone and warm tone. And then I think, I'm just gonna add some pewter on the outside. Ooh, or should I do deep purple just for funsies today? Gonna be adventurous right now. I'm gonna take deep purple, which I don't use this color very often because it's like the most pigmented thing ever and I'm lazy. So I just dot a tiny bit of that. I'm still using the same brush. And I'm just going to blend that in just the outer portion, up and down, because I like this like whole shadow look for the outside of my eyes. Especially since I have like, it's so puffy, I hate it. But what can you do? Alright, and then I'm just going to go back in with more of that mauve color to blend. I feel like I need a tiny bit more deep purple over here. Let's mob again. Alright, so then obviously I'm going to clean up this area after liner's done and with foundation and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and just go in with my liner right away because I don't like doing it last just because I still mess up on the wing liner a lot. I just opened my last bag of Thanksgiving blend coffee. That aside, I'm going to use the Kat Von D tattoo liner. I didn't realize that this was only like $19, which is only like a few dollars more than a lot of drugstore ones, honestly. And I have been running into the worst problems with liquid liner. I bought the Wet n Wild one and I hated it. I normally love Wet n Wild, but it was like bleeding all over everything, and I just wanted to try something new. I really like my Stila Stay All Day one that I have, but that one is green, and I was like, I just need a classic black, and so I decided to pick up the Kat Von D one just because I heard such great things about it, and I am so glad that I did. So wish me luck. It's like so hard to talk during this, but I try to do a thin line on both eyes and then I go in and do the wings last. Because I think if you do the wings like right one after the other, it helps you keep them more even, or at least myself, I don't know. I've been trying, I think my eyes are different shapes though because I feel like this looks different every time, but I've been like trying to trace, like I follow up the line of my waterline and then I just like do the slightest wing and then I like fill it in. And I kind of do mine, or try to do mine, a little bit more facing out just because my eyes are so round that if I like try to put them like up, I'm just gonna look like a weirdo. I don't know, I think they look even. Sorry, I'm looking down as usual in my mirror. What do you guys think? Are they even, almost even, close enough? Whatever. Love this liner. I don't even have to set it with a powder because normally I used to take the black in the palette, whatever palette, and set that, but I don't really see a reason to with this one. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to foundation. I've been using these samples. I got a ton of samples from Sephora for like signing up for a Penny's credit card. Whatever. This is the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. And I've used this like a few times now. I think I got way too much just now, but we'll make it work. And I really like it so far. And this smoothing primer is like super important with the foundation I'm using just because, okay, I mentioned it in my favorites video and then I liked it, and it's the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25 Hour Comfort Serum Foundation. And I really like this foundation, but it sinks into pores pretty easily, which is why I use kind of a pretty heavy duty pore minimizing primer. But the texture of this is like really cool. It's like a gel consistency. I like to start in the center of my face with this and use a beauty blender to blend it out. I would not recommend trying this with a brush. I feel like if I use a brush it just like smears it on top of my face, but it doesn't sink in at all. But with a sponge, if you build it up, it really looks nice and it will last all day, at least on my skin, and I have pretty oily skin. But this layers really well, if you can see. It doesn't get cakey really. I think it's because of the like serum gel consistency, but as long as you're using a beauty blender and really like patting it into the skin, it's not cakey on me. Alright, now I'm going to use my NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer. It's in the shade Vanilla, and I just take this right in the inner corner area so I can cancel out these dark circles. I also take a little under here because that's where I get the darkest. Then I put some down my nose, and then I spot conceal anything. And I'm just going to blend this out. Now before I do any powdering, I am going to take my contour and highlight duo from NYX. I've been loving this. And I do triangles kind of more down since the under eye is already kind of brightened. This just like, yes, so good. Do like little weird football triangle. I just like to highlight the crap out of my face, so. And I do this with this because it doesn't add really more coverage or anything, or cakiness, where like sometimes if you pile on the concealer to get the brightening effect, you end up with cake face. But this is like so cool because it really doesn't have a lot of coverage. I guess for some people that might not be a good thing, but for me it's a good thing. It doesn't have really coverage, it just brightens, and it stays on all day because it's like a liquid consistency. Then I take the contour side. These little stripes, which looks like a lot, but this blends out really nicely. And I make sure to like get it on my cheekbone, I feel like, and then blend. Just, yep. My under eye holy grail powder is the NYX HD in Banana. But I did buy that RCMA one, so we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna like it that much because I do like that this one brightens where the other one has no color. But also, since I do use brightening concealer, sometimes I'm like, do I really need even more brightening? And this does occasionally break up on my nose, so I want to see how that works as like a general setting powder, like for my whole face. And then I go in with this powder, which has some color to it, so it like covers it up a little bit, and I'm kind of excited to have one that's not going to like dim it, lessen the pigment, whatever. And now I'm just going to scurry off and do my brow. Alright, so since I already did my contour with the cream, not cream, you know, whatever. Since I did my contour with that, I am just going to go in with blush only. And this is a beautiful blush. Oh my god. It is the Wet n Wild blush in, I think it is Rose Champagne. Yes. Oh my god. It is so pretty. It's like a nude pink blush with like a little bit of a sheen to it. And I don't normally use blushes with sheen to it because I have oily skin, but like this one is so subtle that like I can handle it. Now another thing from Wet n Wild I've been trying is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting spray. I don't really know if you're supposed to shake it, but I shake it. And I do this before mascara because it does kind of come out very wet sometimes, but I feel like it really does help set my makeup. The only thing is it kind of smells like alcohol when you first use it, so be careful. And I like to tap it in a bit with the Beauty Blender. Okay, now that that's done, I'm gonna run, do a mascara, and then I'll be back. Alright, now I'm finally back to do the last finishing touch, which is obviously lipstick. And I'm using this Maybelline Creamy Matte Lipstick in Daringly Nude. I have been loving this color for every day. Part of me feels like I should go a little more purple because of the eye, but nah. This is the finished look. It's super fun for every day. I feel like I like the wing liner, makes me feel like cool, and then I like the nude lip because then I don't have to worry about it like smearing throughout the day or like being on anything because this color is very neutral and it fades very nicely and all of that kind of stuff. So yes, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video or comment on the video, and please consider subscribing to my channel. or to any of my social media. You can find those links down below. If you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see, products you'd like reviewed, anything like that, leave those in the comment section, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.